Hello everyone and welcome back to more Banjo-Kazooie, and in this episode we're going to be making our way over to Freezeezy Peak. However, similar to how we took an approach to Bubblegloop Swamp, we're also going to be doing the same here because I'm also going to be doing a thing that saves backtracking. But of course before that, what I'm actually going to do is activate this cauldron and go to this thing that somebody in the comments pointed out, which was Nemo Ocean Soul as far as I'm aware, telling me about a Mumbo token that I missed. I was aware about that Mumbo token. It's just, I felt like getting that Mumbo token made more sense to activate this cauldron, collect it, and then make my way back that way, so that's why, you know. But now you know that in this game we have cauldrons making it a lot easier to jump to and fro to places. It's kind of similar if you've ever played Donkey Kong 64 and has those number pads where when you click Z it, you know, basically warps you around the place to different parts of a level, and it's really cool. And that, by the way, is what I was on about when I'm on about the dance that they do when they finish the world. That's what they do. It's just the same dance, so you're really not missing out on anything at all. Anyway, cool. Oh, great. Gruntilda, what the hell is she saying this time? Hey, Banjo, you're looking glum. It must be hard being so dumb. Oh, thanks very much for that. I did say we were on our way to Freezeezy Peak, but like how I opened up that world when we were on our way to Bubblegloop Swamp, I also want to do that because I want to actually go into Gobi's Valley first. I know that sounds really weird, but it will make more sense in the next episode after this, I think. It depends really when I actually do the thing that's required. But stick with me also, because this is the part that people always bring up, saying that there's only one backtracking element. If you follow the route I'm taking, there is no backtracking. There's like no backtracking in the game at all if you follow exactly what I'm doing right here. And I also thought I'd take the time to show off of how to actually get that Jiggy that I sequenced break at the end of the previous episode. What it does, it activates this thing where you can jump, and then you jump into that pot, and it makes you fall down and fall into the bit where Gruntilda's hat is, and that's how you get the Jiggy that way. That's the way you're supposed to do it. But I managed to somehow find that. I don't know how. I must have just been like playing the N64 version one day, and then I just felt like doing a jump from one of those things. I'm thinking, I'll try it, see if it makes it, and it actually did. I'm like, oh, okay, wow. I've found a sequence breaking mechanic in the game. This is brilliant, really. Also, do I? No, I don't. For a second there, I thought I'd go over to Gruntilda and ask how she is, but I'm pretty sure I do that when I'm on my way to Gobi's Valley in general. So what I'm going to do to keep the continuity flowing is actually ignore all the musical notes and everything you see. So, guys, everything you're seeing right now in this level, if you've never seen it before, pretend you haven't seen it, okay? None of this exists. The only thing that exists in this world at the minute is me going all the way over here and talking to Bottles, because he will give me this certain upgrade that will basically save me doing this whole backtracking thing going on with these shoes. These power-ups allow me to run faster. And in fact, it's the power-up that I talked about last time as well, because when I defeated Vile, or whilst I was in the middle of playing the third round of him, you might have noticed those sneakers appearing in the background. That's what they're for, because even when I was the crocodile, I could grab those sneakers and then it would allow me to run a lot faster, and I think really that's the way they intend you to beat the third round. But, you know, if you keep in mind what I said about with keeping in mind where Vile is whilst going around the minigame, it should be okay, really. Oh, right, I thought I was going to show off the shoes on the way back, because they appear, like, literally to the right, but, you know what, whatever. And there is Gruntilda right there, but like I said earlier, it just makes more sense to talk to her when we're actually on our way to Gobi's Valley, just so then I can talk to her, get the info, and then jump into Gobi's Valley that way. But those are just little quick things I wanted to do, so now that all of that's done out of the way, and what am I doing? Oh, right, yeah, I was going to say. For a second there, because when I was looking back at this, I did actually collect that Mumbo token on my way back. I think I just went round it twice just to double check or so. But yeah, cool. All that's out of the way, now we can make our way over to one of my favourite levels in the game. This is Freezeezy Peak. Oh my, I absolutely love this level. The whole design of it, the music, the aesthetics, just everything about it, I adore. It's just brilliant. And I have a lot of memories for this area too when I first played through on the N64. However, inside here we are going to see these things. Where's our presents? Our dad Boggy said he was fetching them. He's been gone ages. Forget reading this dialogue, man. That's just... I'm not going to invoke any emotion for the speed that the text is going. Maybe even it was sped up, but still. Anyway, one thing I also thought I'd show off is around the igloo that they live in. All the pictures that appear here. I was going to be doing an N64 comparison between the two, jumping back and forth, but the only difference really, guys, in this house is the pictures are higher quality. Whereas the originals in the N64 are fully JPEG compressions and it just looks awful, and that was it really. I felt it wasn't really worth showing that off as a comparison going on. Also, meet Boggy, that's literally their dad they were speaking of. You're supposed to be out finding their presents, and here you are just lying on your back because you swallowed a shiny thing. And I wonder what he means by shiny thing. But I really like the way this place is all laid out. The fact that every area is literally just next to one another. It's kind of similar, I suppose, to Treasure Trove Cove, but snowy. And just more organised, really. It saves me backtracking and everything. This minigame right here, I don't really know if you could call this minigame. I suppose it slightly is. There's a little technique that I have with this. I don't do very well on it at the beginning, but what you're supposed to do is get rid of these enemies and save them eating the light bulbs. And I didn't do that well at the start of it, but after a while of playing it, you do eventually get a rhythm going. And then with that, you can basically make sure that every single light bulb makes it past them with, like, no problems at all. I think at some point, is it on this bit, or it might be the one after, where I get it going. I think it was, yeah, I think after that, after this one right here, you might notice that they don't get eaten at all after that, because you don't see them suddenly vanquishing or anything, and because of that, the numbers jump up so high that by the time I look at the timer, they're already finished. I mean, look, we're already on the last one, and we've got like 29 seconds left, and that's it. It's already done. Once you find that rhythm on that bit, you could just soar through it with flying colours, and oh man, it's just brilliant. What can I say? Ah, yes, now I need to turn on the switch, but, of course, I, first off, want to get this upgrade from Bottles. I'm getting 2 of them in this, mainly just to make things a lot easier. I mean, we've got the speed up one to save the backtracking going on, but I'm getting this one because, well, it's required. It's what you actually need when you're going through Freezeezy Peak, because this one will allow us to shoot like a target with Kazooie whilst we are flying through the air. And believe me, that is very useful, particularly when you want to traverse through levels a lot faster while flying as well, because I always find that flying is very slow in this game. Like, there is no way that you can speed up or anything, you just kind of have to adjust to the momentum. Except this does speed it up, however, you are doing a head dive. So it means if you hit the ground or hit the wall, you're gonna take damage. So you need to be very, very careful of what you're doing. Before soaring to the sky, though, what I want to do first is make my way over here and try to multitask. I feel like, because Freezeezy Peak is one of my favourite levels, and I've played through it so many times, I've pretty much got the paths memorised at the back of my mind, so I know what to do on each bit, just to make sure, you know, that I get a good run. In fact, oddly enough, when I look back on how long this level took, I cleared this faster than Bubble Gloop Swamp, which is weird, because Bubble Gloop Swamp is, like, even smaller. This place is gigantic when you first get here, and the fact I get an even faster time just makes no sense. Oh, by the way, here's another mind-blowing thing that I only just noticed, like, recently. So, remember how I said you could swim faster if you hold down the R button? Whilst flying, if you hold down the R button, you can turn a lot faster as well, and just look at how fast I can fly through this star. Like, literally, I got that done, and I had like 30 seconds left. If you do that without the R buttons moving about, it is a pain to try to navigate your way through that star. Like, again, the R buttons save lives. That's all I can say really about the R buttons. Just use them, they will honestly help you out. And oh boy, these snowmen. I remember the first time those things being annoying because, oh man, their accuracy is so spot on. Every time they throw a snowball and you are standing still, it is going to hit you. So that means sometimes if you try to dive into them whilst flying, you're likely going to take a hit, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. So that can be a little bit of an issue. But anyway, let's just hit these buttons right here, and then it will activate this Jiggy, which drops between its legs. I swear Rareware were suggesting something with that. I mean, they have been pretty sneaky on all the other games that they've done. I mean, I've already talked about some of the adult jokes that this game Banjo-Kazooie has, but still, also great, awesome. I love doing that. Just aligning myself just so that then I can collect the Jiggy without them doing their dance. I got nothing against the dance. It's great. It's about as good as Crash Bandicoot when he does his dance from Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped and Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back, I think. In fact, I think 2 is where it debuted. Because he definitely didn't do it in the first game, that's for sure. It's just as good as that. It's just, I don't know. It like, stops time for 4 seconds, and sometimes that can really affect a run. Especially, like, when you're a speedrunner. Believe me, like, if something happens and it goes... If you lose time for 4 seconds, that's it. You're screwed. You're pretty much like, ah, damn, I screwed up my whole time in general. Like, you know, just the one slight muck-up that you do, it can really screw you over. And that's a bit of an issue, but still. It is rather annoying, though, how when you activate those damn Christmas lights, they won't shut up. Jesus, I just want to hear Freezeezy peak the normal one, not with the jingling bells going on in the background. I don't know why, it just slightly annoys me. Also, these presents, I collect them, but I'm very oblivious sometimes when I collect them. I will collect the very last one, and I'll say, well done, you found me, I'm the last one. I'll be like, wait, what? The last one? Really? Oh, right, okay, I guess well, it's all of them then, isn't it? I have to give it back to the children, and then make Christmas happy for them, which I do rather like that you do in this game. I also like how the children as well are at the very end, or at least, you know, the start of a level, meaning it can be the very last thing that you do. In this case, what I do right here. So that's rather nifty. Exactly, Banjo. One thing I do tend to do on this, but I didn't really do it well on recording, is jump off this and just make myself fall down there. But for some reason, I don't know why, Banjo just kept attaching himself to, like, the tree. And I just wanted him to jump down it normally, just to show off the fact that you can jump down and not worry about taking falling damage. Because while he does go, uh-oh, falls down, and then you're likely to take a hit, because it transitions outside of the area, you don't take any falling damage, which helps out greatly, believe me. Also, another thing to talk about is a little slight mishearing that I have on this game, actually. So, to me, I don't know, it might be because of the N64 compression, because, I mean, even though it's on the XBLA, they've kept some of the sounds the same for how they were compressed in the N64. Sometimes some of the things Banjo says, I mishear it. Like, for instance, listen to what he says when he performs this attack on the snowman, alright? Pay attention to this. So, he is going to say... He's actually saying uh-oh as far as I'm aware, but to me it always sounds like he's saying jumbo. I don't know why, do you guys always hear it as jumbo? That's what I hear it as anyway. I mean, it's always like that as well, like the same with New Super Mario Bros. For the DS actually. Because when you're playing as Luigi, and you start a level, he says go Luigi, but I always thought he says Maluigi. So as a kid, anytime he said it, I always used to just go Maluigi. I'd be like, what? Even as a kid, I was confused why he said it, but I still kept saying it because I thought that was the catchphrase that he did. Also, when you kill all those snowmen, that Jiggy appears at the very top, making it easier for you to get. I don't know how the hell I managed that. I managed to somehow accidentally activate the invincibility favor on the XBLA version, which is weird because most of the commands that you do are not done with the right stick. Like, I think that's pretty much the only one that's done with the right stick. I do kind of find that a bit weird, actually. The fact that performing the talent drop is simply crouching with the left trigger and then pressing the right trigger on the Xbox 360, and that's it, you're doing the talent drop. Whereas on the N64, it was hold down Z and press the left C button. So surely, if it's on the Xbox 360, that would mean that you would hold down the left trigger button and then move the right analog stick to the left. But no, instead it's the right trigger, so why is the invincibility feather then holding down the button and moving it to the right? You know, the fact that that one's completely mapped to how the N64 version is, and the talent shots just with the right triggers, just, I don't know, doesn't make any sense to me. Granted, I don't know which one I prefer really. I suppose it's just all a matter of personal preference, like if you like holding down the Z button and then pressing the C button, or if you just prefer using the triggers on the Xbox 360. I don't really care. I mean, it still activates the talent shot, and they're both just as comfy, really, so it's fine, isn't it? A nifty little thing you can do with this Jiggy if you're trying to speedrun this, but I didn't really want to show it off just because I thought it beats the whole adventure side of this LP, because that's what I'm trying to capture. It's Banjo-Kazooie having fun, going on like an adventure throughout the worlds. One thing you can do is the Jiggy I collected inside that little pipe that the snowman had. If you're flying and then you do a little dive on it, you will take damage, but because you're bashing into the side of it, it will basically register you collecting the Jiggy, so you can collect the Jiggy a lot faster that way without them even performing their dance animations, so that's rather nifty. Ah, this place, yes, this place is rather memorable of a certain highlights that happened in our collab. Poor Harry, that's all I can say. Jesus, that kind of just escalated very quickly and just happened out of nowhere. It was so bad. And remember the thing that I activated for you by defeating all the snowmen?
Yes, at the top of here.
Get to the top of that first. Because it's right there!
Okay, can I...
No!
I didn't realize!
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh god!
It's gonna catch us up.
Oh my god! You fucking idiot. I'll never forget that moment. Can I just say that's gotta hurt? Like, what a horrible way to get up, as well as maybe even wake up from something, just to have this bear go on, like, a sledge, and then go all the way down this ramp and land on your belly to wake you up immediately. But hey, I mean, at least we got a Jiggy that way. By the way, we're going to see a lot of Boggy throughout the whole entirety of this level, and all I can say is, Jesus, he's a very inconsiderate father, that's for sure. He has these 3 children who've lost their presents, and he's falling asleep there, and then next, he will want to... Do I show it off in here? No, I don't think I do, actually, because I go... Where am I even going? I think on this bit I got a bit lost, actually. How could I get lost in Freezeezy P? That makes no sense. Maybe it's... I must have just been looking at my timer or something, I don't know. This is all just, like, done, you know, ahead of time, really. But still. I believe, though, that's pretty much all the things done up around the snowman, so that's cool. And... Oh, wow! Blimey! We're actually already on the end of the episode. Well, that's rather nifty. Cool. So, in the next episode of Banjo-Kazooie, we'll be heading onwards to that Mumbo Hut over there and seeing what creature we transform into. Believe me, it's a cute one. Nowhere near as cute as the crocodile, though. That thing is adorable. So take care, guys, and I will see you in the next exciting episode of Banjo-Kazooie.